As a crew, we tried to prepare ourselves for the type of devastation that we would see, but it's not really something you can prepare yourself for unless you've seen it firsthand.
It looked like a bulldozer had just bulldozed just about everything in the town down. There were a couple concrete buildings that were standing. The airfield was completely demolished. Control tower, there was steel, but everything between the steel structure was blown out. On the airfield, there were probably 200 people within view, close to the aircraft, and lots of locals that were looking to depart that evening, just out in the weather with their children, with no cover, just in the rain, with a small little shopping bag, with very likely what was all of their goods in their life at that point. It was like something you'd see out of a movie.
The level of enthusiasm that we all had for doing the mission was really high, so everybody came to work wanting to learn about Tacloban, figuring out what we were going to do, and going in there. The NPC was high energy, the crews were high energy, and we were just working all the time, either flying or getting ready for the next flight.
As you're flying the mission, there's so many things that you don't fully digest because you can't, or else it will affect, how you fly or affect how you finish the mission. So it was very sobering and humbling, the entire experience of landing. But I know once we touched down there at Tacloban and saw, not only all the Americans helping, but all the partner nations, people from all over the world coming together to help the Filipino people. We were very proud that we had that opportunity to help.
During the daytime, you had a lot of civilian relief efforts. You had the Navy going in during the daytime. So there was a lot of traffic. So when we first got there, the decision that we had to make was, do we go in at daytime or do we go in at nighttime? And for us, obviously the night was the safer option.
When you think of night vision goggles, you think of combat, you think of trying to hide from the bad guy. But instead we used our night vision capability to double the length of the day to provide relief supplies into Tacloban.
You want to get help as quickly as possible. You want to be able to deliver clean water and food and medical care as quickly as you can. And you want to get people out of a bad situation. But aside from those basic things, there were so many aircraft and personnel that were there to help that it's always going to create a timing logistical issue, making sure that we can all help in the right amount of time in order to affect the greatest impact. So we had to coordinate with the Marines. We had to work with the Australians and the JASDEF and other countries, the Filipino Air Force as well, to make sure that we could all come together in a finite amount of time to be able to make a difference.
The airfields we can operate out of, the size of the runways, as well as the taxiways can be very small. So we can operate in locations that other aircraft can't. We can operate with some conditions just based on the crew force we have that other airlift assets are not familiar with, so they don't have that experience set. I think one of the untold stories of this operation was our maintenance team. It was a small team. It was built to fly within about an 8-hour window a day. We rolled that into about a 16-hour fly window in the Philippines all night long, and they just knocked the ball out of the park. The day in, day out, working out in the elements for almost a month, never once complaining about anything, and in every circumstance, we made every sortie happen. We could not have gotten in the air without their efforts.
Yeah, the first time I saw them, when we first came down there, open up the ramp, and we see 120 evacuees coming up towards their aircraft, I had nothing to say. The looks on their faces, they're tired, they've been up for days at that point. They're coming on the plane, it's loud, it's noisy, it's smelly, so they're trying to rush on, but at the same time, they were happy to be there.
They were carrying everything they had with them, if they had anything. Sometimes they had bags, sometimes they didn't. It's something I just can't even imagine, I guess, to have everything with you that you own at that time, and whatever family members, you might be able to have with you, and just hope for something better when you get off the plane at the other end. They were so thankful. It didn't matter how long the flight was. It didn't matter, where they were sitting on the plane. They were just happy to get out and be closer to family, or have a roof over their head in Manila. just more smiles than we ever expected to see coming out of a situation like that. So I think it really spoke to the strength of those people and their spirit.
The more often we can put our forces into training and exercising in environments they're unfamiliar with, while they're the same skill sets, is absolutely critical. An amazing ability for airmen to quickly apply the skills they'd had into a situation they'd never necessarily faced.
This isn't the kind of experience that you hope for, because you never want a natural disaster or any sort of humanitarian need to surface. But when there is one, I mean, I'm very proud that we as a squadron and as a base had the training necessary to go out and make a difference. I can see that if we weren't prepared or we hadn't trained for these kind of events, that aid might have taken longer to reach these people, and I'm just very thankful that it didn't have to wait.
The things that I do here at Yokota are rewarding on a daily basis, but I mean, to be able to go down there and actually bring out survivors of a super Typhoon Haiyan, it's awesome. It's a great thing to be able to do, to be a part of.
To know that we were able to just be one little piece, it made it okay, I guess. It made it seem like we were in there to do our job and we could handle whatever we were seeing because we were making a difference. And to see the smiles on their faces in spite of what they had just experienced, it was just something that I won't easily forget.
The reward and the pride that comes with being dealt something with no playbook. You fall back upon your experience working those around you to find an innovative solution and to make it happen, to help the people of the Philippines. No matter what the task was, there was airmen at all levels, regardless of rank, working very hard, being very innovative, solving problems all along the way. So I think everyone that participated walks away as a richer, not only as an airman, but as a human being.